Welcome to my channel, Dream to be a Polyglot. Today you're going to get to work on your English comprehension. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment with your thoughts, and share this video. We're going to do something very cool, a method I like to use for learning languages that I'm going to use to teach you English is choosing a passion of yours and learn about it in your target language for those of you that are learning English. For me, I watch videos on chess in Spanish, French, and Russian, and it's a fun way to learn. And regardless if you're a beginner, you're new to chess, you want to learn, this is a fantastic way to start out and learn English. And if you know how to play chess, this is perfect if you're learning English for you, something that you're passionate about. So, to explain the chessboard, on the chessboard you have all these individual spaces. You have black and you have white. There's 64 spaces. So if you go 8 across and 8 vertically as well, so 8 times 8 equals 64. Now, typically on a chessboard, you would have it lettered across horizontally and the numbers, the numerical numbers, going vertically. On this chessboard, it doesn't have it, but if you're looking at the chessboard from the white side, it would go from left to right, the letter A through H. And then you would count vertically 1 through the number 8. Now, if you're sitting on the black side, it's reversed. If you're looking at it, it would go from H to the letter A, and from numerical number 8 down to 1. Now, to explain the pieces are important to know and how to use the pieces. So first of all, you have the pawn. The pawn in the opening movement has a choice of where you can move up to 2 spaces. Now, you can only do this once. You can either move 1 space or 2 spaces. You have that choice in the beginning. Now, how can the pawn attack? If someone is in front of the pawn cannot attack that person. If the person is diagonal to the pawn can attack and take the piece, or if the piece was over here, you can take the piece here. So that is basically how the pawn moves. Now the next piece we'll go to is the horse. This is important to keep in mind. The horse is the only piece of this back row that can jump over a pawn. None of the other pieces can do that. If a pawn is in the way, they cannot move past a pawn. Now the horse moves in an L-shaped pattern, so you'd move 2 spaces up and then either to the left or to the right in an L shape. Now pretend this pawn was not here. You have this castle, can move across the board, completely across the board, either vertically or horizontally, and you can attack your opponent like this. Now the next piece we'll check out is the bishop. The bishop, if nothing was in the way, this bishop has to stay on the white diagonal, but it attacks in a diagonal pattern, but it has to stay on its white spaces. And then you have the brown bishop, attacks diagonally as well. However, it has to stay on the brown spaces. It cannot jump to any white spaces. Now, one of the most powerful pieces on here is the queen, the beautiful queen. She can move any way she wants to, right? Vertically, horizontally, diagonally, all the way across the board. She's very powerful. You've got to protect her. It's actually a wise decision not to move her initially, if possible, to use your other pieces to attack first. The last piece is the king, and many say he is unfortunately one of the weakest pieces because he can only move 1 space at a time. However, he can move in any direction he wants. So this gives you a basic idea of how the pieces move, what they're called. And the last thing I'll touch upon, just to give you a basic idea, one of the key principles in chess to keep in mind, one of the basics is that you want to control the center. You want to stay in the center of the board as much as possible. If you do that, you're much more likely to win. So this is just a quick video to help you with your English, learn about chess. Let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave me a comment if you like this content. I will be making more of it. Take care and have a great day.